Hi guys, Tom on Treads here. Just letting you know that this episode was recorded about a day after WWE SummerSlam, which happened in July. So it was recorded around the end of July, start of August, around there. So it doesn't have any of the AEW All Out controversy. It doesn't have any of the WWE Clash at the Castle information. And the debut of Solo Sikoa, the leaving of Malachi Black from AEW, the CM Punk controversy. And we hope to be back on track soon with more up-to-date episodes, but I'm doing my master's degree at the moment, and I'm really swamped under by a lot of assessments. So, for now, we really hope you enjoy this episode. Once again, I'm Tom on Treads, and for Shakey Jay, this is episode 29.2. Enjoy. And welcome back to episode 29.2.
Welcome back. This is it's not really much of a thing.
Oh, yeah. It's still welcome back to the podcast.
Oh, yeah, true. That makes sense.
This is before it was cool. This is Tom on Treads.
No, wait. I'm arguing this. Fuck it. I'm arguing this. There's been multiple times where we have had a blooper where we've said, welcome back. And it's like, true. Oh, no, damn it. Then we've retook it. So, yeah.
True. But I'm leaving it in either way because I'm lazy.
No, fair enough. But yeah, I'm Shakey Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, Shakey Jay. And this week we're talking about something that, like last week we mentioned, we both like, but I'm a little bit more on the passionate side than Jay.
Yeah.
We're talking about
viewer with a bit more knowledge, and you're really into it.
Yeah. Like, I know a lot of the Australian scene kind of thing. Like, I know them personally. I go to a lot of Australian events. I go to a lot of international events. We're talking Australia. Professional wrestling this week. Specifically because of the news that hit, now would be a few weeks ago.
But we'll discuss that after the music, I think.
Yeah.
We've got to do something to bring them in.
But there has been a dramatic shift in the entire landscape of professional wrestling in the last few weeks. And, it's pretty exciting for a lot of fans. There have already been one or two events being done under the new regime, which is pretty cool. So, we'll hit up the theme music. And we'll get back into it.
Yeah, hit play, Mr. Tom.
Welcome. Welcome to the Before It Was Cool podcast.
And here we are again. We didn't even actually say hi to each other, Tom. How you doing this week?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm good. Taya's dig is it didn't pound me too hard this week, so I'm fine.
Well,
I'm trying to get a reaction out of her.
Yes. No, start saying it's not that big. That'll get the reaction out of her.
Jay just told me to say that you have a tiny dick. And then, got the reaction of, yeah, right. He's seen it. He got the pictures.
No. Got the pictures. They were scratch and sniff. It was fantastic.
He just said that they're scratch and sniff and it was fantastic. She laughed.
Lemon scented.
She laughed and said it's lemon scented. God. My best friend and my wife are talking about her dick.
Being lemon scented, that's the best bit.
Yeah,
this very appealing.
This is fine. It's not uncomfortable for me at all. Yeah, so now that we're out of the music and we're through the tangent about my wife's massive penis, where I can reveal the landscape
I want to
shifting
talk about this because
event.
this is something I'll actually be able to talk about, whereas you'll be looking at the greater ramifications. So let me have my talking moment, and you'll take over. Pretty much, it's like Billy Gunn and Road Dogg. In this case, I'm being Billy Gunn, where I'm not expected to talk that much, and you're the one that's going to do most of the work there.
Alrighty.
So, for those who don't follow wrestling, pretty much probably the biggest person when it comes to owning wrestling, producing wrestling, is Vince McMahon, who was CEO and main owner of WWE.
Yeah, head of creative, CEO, COO as well.
Yeah, so
I think
a big kahuna in the world of wrestling, in particular Americanized wrestling, and he has recently retired amidst both sexual assault and hush money sort of things of female talent and workers, plus embezzlement.
Well, it wasn't sexual assault, it was sexual misconduct. It hasn't been called assault yet.
Yes, okay. So, don't want to get sued by it. So, sexual misconduct and embezzlement charges. So
because he paid off a lot of the women using WWE
money.
Funds, so therefore that's what made it illegal.
Though there has been some women come out saying that he has done some inappropriate stuff too. So
and they were paid hush money to keep quiet. All that
about
stuff.
Things that were very unfriendly and things that both Tom and I believe are pretty inexcusable.
Yeah.
So with it all, like, it was like everyone that I have ever spoken to that knows anything, even if it's not a huge amount about wrestling, have said that Vince McMahon will probably die in gorilla position, which is just behind the curtains pretty much.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's retiring amidst a huge amount of scandal is really interesting because, well, wrestling goes hand in hand with scandal. Like, there's been steroids trials, there's been murders covered up, sexual assault covered up. There's been a lot of stuff. Tom, as I said, all
you have to do is watch
Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring, and you can get the 411 on most of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so much there, and like that's not something we're going to go into because, as I said, watch Dark Side of the Ring. They've got more in-depth information than I have, and probably look better and sound better on microphone. So but so Tom, do you want to talk about what you know of the situation and what you know about it all?
Like I said, it's he hasn't been charged with sexual assault or anything like that. He's been accused of sexual misconduct. What he's actually facing legal ramifications for is using WWE's funds to pay off some of these women, which is illegal because that was a private matter, and he used publicly traded companies' funds to do it. That's what he's facing legal ramifications for. As far as wrestling goes, he is still the majority owner of WWE. I want to make that clear to everyone. He owns the most stocks of anyone. He's just not officially part of creative or part of the board of directors at all anymore. But he still owns and gets 52% of the WWE.
Yeah.
He hasn't given away. Yeah. But Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon have taken over as CEO of WWE, so the co-CEOs. And Triple H is now the executive vice president, what Stephanie used to be, of talent relations. And he's also the head of creative. Now, what this means is that the main roster will become what NXT was 6 years ago.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting because, well, the thing I find most funny about like the change in creative and booking there is the fact that everyone for years was not wanting Roman Reigns at the top of the card.
Yeah.
Now he's at the top of the card and people are liking him there as a heel. But, like, it's like, okay, wow, okay, you're doing that. But the IWC's been wanting Triple H to take over. Like, what's going to happen there? Is Roman going to stay there? What's the change?
I think Roman will stay there. Like, Triple H is too smart to go, well, fuck that. Sorry. I said that. It sounded like I was putting on an accent. I wasn't.
If you're talking like Triple H, you have to
fucked up my words.
If you're going to be saying it like Triple H, you have to end everything with an ugh. Remember?
Yeah. But
he's the game. Anyway, sorry.
I think he is too smart to fuck with the way things are at the moment. Like,
Well,
he'll leave Roman
are.
Reigns there. Like, he won't push Brock anymore. He doesn't like Brock. He never has. He thinks Brock is an entitled fuckwit.
To be honest, Brock has proven himself to be that quite a few times.
Yes, but at the same time, like, Brock is also proven to be worth the entitled fuckwit pay, if you know what I mean. Like, he's...
Well, can I just quickly...
drawn a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's amazing at what he does when he decides to make the effort. Though one thing I do want to bring up is the fact that Brock in Dark Side of the Ring, and this is something that not many people talked about, was like him like getting his dick out in front of people and stuff.
Yeah.
Because who did you do that to? It was
what's his name? I can only remember her ring name as Marlena, but Goldust.
Yeah.
His ex-wife.
Tori? No, not Tori. No.
No. Terry Runnels.
Terry Runnels. Yeah.
Yeah. He pulled her dick out, and then Vince said to her, and pretty much Bruce Pritchard and Pat Patterson said to her, and JR said to her, look, it's Brock Lesnar, don't. That was all they said to her. Don't make a thing out of it.
Which is pretty awful.
Which is, it's so fucked up.
But yeah, like, he didn't have the fallout like Ric Flair did.
Yeah. Or even at the time, like Kurt Hennig or Scott Hall.
Well, yeah, they got in trouble at the time for wrestling on a plane and doing dumb shit.
Scott Hall got so fucked up before takeoff that he passed out and he was out of it through the whole trip. And then they, when they landed, they realized that, oh, fuck, he filled up the entire, the pocket on the back of the seat in front of him with vomit, and the toilet behind him was just filled with vomit.
Yeah.
And he fucked up the plane and left it for other people to clean. And so they fired him because he couldn't walk off the plane under his own power anymore.
And
go watch Dark Side of the Ring. They did a full episode on the
plane ride
from hell. It is literally from hell. But Triple H is gonna be, if there is, Tony Khan in the AEW side of things has always said he is willing to work with WWE. He wants to do a Forbidden Door pay-per-view with WWE. As long as Vince was alive or the head of creative, that was not going to happen. But now that he has no power in that company, Triple H might actually be open to something like that. Might finally see Jon Moxley, not Dean fucking Ambrose, Jon Moxley versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. We might actually get a good Shield triple threat.
It could be amazing, and the character work that all three of them have done recently has gotten good, because like Tom and I were talking recently, because in a previous episode we were talking about overrated wrestlers, and Tom brought up Jon Moxley, and we were talking the other day, and you were saying that your opinion on him has changed.
Yeah. Since the Blackpool Combat Club, pretty much. Since William Regal became his mouthpiece, so to speak, my view on John Moxley has changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
Before I didn't like him. Before I just thought he was overrated and he was trying to be cooler than what he was, all that stuff. But now I believe that he's actually really good.
No, fair enough.
I've had my eyes open to like what everybody has always seen in him. It just took me longer.
No, it's all good, man. Like, opinions change. People grow.
And the match with Tanahashi at Forbidden Door is what did it, really.
Well, you're a big fan of Tanahashi, aren't you?
Yeah. Tanahashi cut pretty much the entire New Japan roster. Yeah, and I met most of them. Like for the longest time until yesterday, pretty much, my screensaver on my phone was a photo of me and Okada, and then when you lock my phone, the picture was me and Tanahashi.
And now who is it? It's from the show you watched on the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Mick Moretti, and when you unlock my phone, it's Robbie Eagles and Matt Damon. Two Australian wrestlers.
Yeah, because you're trying to do more for, not do more, but go to more Australian shows and build that sort of stuff up.
Yeah, well, I've been going to Australian shows for a couple of years now.
Did you ask any of them if they wanted to jump on the podcast sometime?
Yeah, I've asked them. They're all just really busy all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Robbie Eagles was like, I just got off the plane after 3 weeks in Japan, and I've got 4 shows lined up over the next 3 days. I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Calm down, bro.
Well, it's probably his main, income. So, yeah, I don't blame him for doing it, but fuck me dead. But, so the other big thing that's happened recently with WWE, and we think it might be part of Triple H's influence, is there's a big change in going to TV 14.
Yeah, that happened before.
I think it was
before Vince was gone.
Before he was gone, but I think it was coming. Everyone, he knew it was coming, so he was turning over the reins. I think it might be a little bit too much coincidence there.
From the reports, it happened pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because in the 90s, when Vince was getting sued by the American government.
Yeah.
Over the steroid scandal, he was preparing everything for Jerry Jarrett to come in and take over WWE while he was in jail. Or WWF at the time. While he was in jail. And from the reports from Fightful Select and the Wrestling Observer and a few others, there was none of that. No one was approached to run the company. It was just Vince said on Thursday night, I'm going to have to leave. Otherwise, the whole company's going to get brought down. And then on the Saturday morning, he said, okay, I'm retiring. And he sent out that tweet. And Triple H was like, oh, fuck, am I coming back? And Triple H was, Vince was like, yeah, you're coming back, you're taking over. And he was like, okay then. Guess I'm taking over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it happened pretty quickly. Triple H proved himself without a shadow of doubt with what he did with NXT back in the day.
I was going to say, proved it for quality.
Yeah.
But I don't think he proved it for sales.
Yeah, sales didn't quite work because it was never on it was never on mainstream TV. And when it was up against, quite frankly, a better show in Dynamite.
Yeah, and it was
Dynamite has proven that it can beat fucking Raw. It beat Raw a few weeks this year.
Yeah.
So if they moved it to Mondays, it would destroy them. I reckon.
Yeah, of course. NXT was supposed to be like almost like a territory bush league feel. There was
it was supposed to be a feeder.
And then they wonder, why is this not beating their main show? It's like, well, it's not their main show. Like, there's a reason.
Yeah, if you put Raw on Wednesdays, I'm sure it would win, but like, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it's like saying, SmackDown beat Rampage. Rampage is a 1 hour show that no one watches.
Which is really sad because there's some real talent there.
Yeah. Well, I watch Rampage, but like the numbers between Rampage and Dynamite just aren't there. If you know what I mean.
One is the lesser show. And that's going to happen.
I'm like, yeah. So Triple H has proven himself, especially with like what he did on takeovers, etc.
Oh yeah,
and the storyline building. Like he's proven that he can do a massive storyline arc over several months, like we did with Ciampa and Gargano.
Yeah, well, those two also did a lot for it because they've wrestled each other how many millions of times.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I don't know if like Gargano is going back to WWE.
I've heard apparently a lot of people have been getting contacts about coming back.
Yeah. Like today at WrestleMania, Io Shirai and Dakota Kai returned.
Yeah.
Not WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Sorry.
Yeah.
They returned.
Huge. Because, they'd been released, hadn't they?
Or Dakota Kai had been released, and Io Shirai left under her own right, and Bayley came back after injury.
I know. I'm so glad Bayley's back. I love Bayley.
Yeah, I love her too. She's probably my second favorite female wrestler, active.
Who's your favorite actor?
Her name's Shazza McKenzie. She's an Australian I
think I've heard the name
wrestler.
before. I think you've spoken about it before.
Yeah, she's wrestled for NXT and Dynamite, or AEW on Dynamite.
Okay.
Yeah, she's done a bunch of things.
No, cool. But yeah, still. So, what do you think this impact of Vince McMahon leaving? What do you think it's going to do for wrestling?
I think it's going to open a lot of shit up. Like I said, that Forbidden Door pay-per-view between WWE and AEW is now an actual possible reality. A bunch of people are going to go, oh, well, fuck, I can go back. Like, now I actually believe that Wyndham Rotunda is going back to WWE. I believe that when John Moxley's contract is up, he's going to consider going back. Punk will never go back. He didn't like Triple H either.
He didn't have...
Rollins will stay. Daniel Bryan will consider going back. Jericho won't. He will stay in AEW. But pretty much it will be opening the door for long-term storylines again. Because in WWE, the way WWE does it, and the way I'm shocked that no one ever realized this, was they don't book their Raws. They book their pay-per-views, and they don't give a fuck what happens in between, if you know what I mean. They don't care about the week-to-week shows. They only care about their pay-per-views, because when people go back and watch, they don't watch every single Raw and SmackDown in between. They watch WrestleMania to Backlash to Judgment Day to whatever the next pay-per-view, No Mercy or whatever the next pay-per-view is. And they go month to month to month to month.
Yeah.
Where instead of week to week to week to week. Because back in the day, the network didn't exist. Yeah. So Triple H is now looking at it as, okay, well, the network does exist and people can watch it that way. So I've got to change it from this month to month to month thing that the old guy was booking on to this new week to week to week format.
Yeah, make
And
the
I've got to
week
do it
plus
quickly.
CTV.
And that's what Triple H will bring to the table. He will change the way the company views their fans view the product.
So, do you think, like, so Triple H, you think will open up the forbidden door with AEW, other companies as well?
But most likely he'll start with like CMLO and AAA in Mexico.
I think he
Then
might
he'll
also
move to like New Japan or probably most likely All Japan or Noah.
Though I wouldn't be surprised if he also makes some connections with TNA. I mean, like, they had Mickie James on there while she was the TNA Women's Champion.
But that was more of an apology and also a favor. Like, back in the day when, who was it? Ric Flair. Sorry, interjection. Ric Flair was a contracted TNA wrestler, and Christian was a contracted WWE wrestler, but they wanted Ric Flair for the Horseman Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah.
So they said, here's Christian, can we have Rick? And they traded. Now at the last Slammiversary pay-per-view, AJ Styles appeared at the Slammiversary. So Impact said to WWE, we'll give you Mickey for the Rumble if we can have AJ for Slammiversary.
Yeah, and they've done other little things like that as well. Like John Cena's night, they had Jericho, Daniel Bryan, and Big Show.
Yeah, that was AEW though.
Oh, AEW, sorry, yeah, but that's still a big thing for making connections and opening up stuff.
Reportedly, they asked for Punk, and Punk was like, no.
Well, see, that's the thing. Punk has always had pretty positive things to say about Cena, but it's just WWE he's not going to do.
He just didn't want to appear on WWE's show.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. Like, he was treated pretty badly by it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't judge him for that. Like, I remember what it was I was going to say. It was judging someone. What do you think of a lot of the stuff that Jericho's been saying recently about people and wrestlers and stuff? Like, he's been coming across a bit of a dick recently, like more so than his character's supposed to.
Like, he is one of those people that buys into the whole heel should be a heel 100% of the time.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like, he's gone beyond that. He's become an absolute piece of dick.
Yeah,
that's my new saying, an absolute piece of dick.
Yeah, that's fair, because like going with my old thing of like not wanting body parts to be insults anymore, a piece of dick, no one wants a piece of dick. They either want the whole dick, like a piece of, like a chunk coming off is just horrifying for any male. And I think any woman's like, if I'm going to have a dick, I want something that feels really good.
Yeah, I want full dick, not piece.
Yeah, exactly.
So Jericho is a piece of dick of the week.
Okay, it's changed from hemorrhoid to a piece of dick. This is still pretty amusing, to be honest.
Oh, hey, Lauren.
I didn't say it this week. But yeah, I didn't make a weird connection there.
Speaking of piece of dick, hey, Doma.
Oh dear. Yeah. What were we saying? Sorry. All this talk of dick distracted me.
Jericho has drank the Republican Kool-Aid, which is weird because he's not even American.
Yeah. Oh no, he's an American citizen now. Well, I think he got his citizenship. But yeah, it's but not even politics aside. Like I'm pretty sure there's left-wing wrestlers who say some dumb shit. Like, but yeah, like it's just politics aside. He's just been a bit of a dick towards some of his own professionals and people who are dead as well in the system, sort of thing. Like I've got no issue with bad-mouthing the dead if they deserve it.
Yeah.
But yeah. But
Yeah.
it's the way he's doing it, it's not classy.
No, it's not. It's kind of... Yeah, he's going off the deep end a little bit.
Yeah, and he's believing his Jericho hype.
Yeah. He's believing he's the greatest of all time, and he's not in any metric. He's not...
I was going to say, for rebirth and changing himself and reinventing himself, he would be amongst it. Absolutely.
Oh, as far as character work, yeah, maybe. But, like, he's not the biggest draw. That would never go to him. It's between pretty much 4 people, between Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, and Cena.
Yeah.
And he'll never be in that conversation. He was never a crossover star. The biggest one in that regard is The Rock. And probably Cena is coming up, but it's The Rock at the moment.
Oh, I don't think Cena will ever catch The Rock, but yeah.
He's got a superhero franchise. He could. And he's part of the Fast and Furious franchise.
I'd say Batista's going to do it over Cena.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Batista's coming up, but I think Cena will overtake him.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. It's always been a competition between those two.
No, yes.
But, as far as crossover appeal, he's not that. As far as actual
he's got crossover
winning of belts, yeah, but he's not like big, and Fozzy aren't really respected.
I don't mind Fozzy musically, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't mind them musically. They're just not respected.
Yeah. Well, they're not a big band. They're not one that's cracked mainstream or anything like that.
Exactly, but and also with the title wins, he's not set a record except for with a secondary belt that no one cares about anymore.
Oh, he was also the first undisputed title. He was the first one to have the undisputed title.
Yeah, but look what they did with it.
Yeah, he wasn't treated like that.
They made him the 4th rung in a 2-person feud behind Stephanie and her dog.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, he got treated like shit through his whole career. He's never held the title as a babyface. He's always been a heel. The most respected title run he ever had was the AEW one, and then he dropped it as someone more popular who dropped it as someone more popular.
Yeah.
Who dropped it as someone more popular, who dropped it to the most over babyface of all time. In the modern era. CM Punk.
You'd say
in the modern era.
I'd almost put Daniel Bryan as the most popular babyface of the modern era.
Oh, that's a tough call. Because Daniel Bryan came up when CM Punk left. So Daniel Bryan kind of took his place.
Yeah, absolutely. But Punk was also big as a non-babyface as well. Like his heel work versus The Rock.
Yeah.
He was still big as not a babyface.
Yeah, his heel work versus Taker, that was just sublime.
Oh, even the promos against The Rock, when he just said to him, make sure your arms are long enough before you try the box with God.
That wasn't the line. It was, you're going to find out the arms aren't long enough to box with God.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, yeah. But yeah, amazing.
And he thought of that off the top of his fucking head.
When it comes to working the stick, he's amazing.
Yeah. Because Stephanie walked up to him apparently that day and said, here's your promo. He crunched it up and threw it at her and said, I don't need that. And he walked out.
And gave us that. And yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's...
I already know what I'm going to say.
Yep.
Just leave me alone.
And and it was amazing. It was so good.
It was. But, yeah, so Vince McMahon's, the ramifications of him leaving are both going to be seen in wrestlers coming back, wrestlers seeing WWE as that viable option to return again. It's going to go all the way down to NXT. NXT 2.0 is going to remain, but the storylines will change. We'll see as Solo Sikoa, which is the third Uso.
Yeah.
We'll see. He's Rikishi's other son, and he's bigger than both Usos put together. We'll see him become probably either second rung or overtake what's his name, Braun Breaker, even though he's injured at the moment. We'll see Braun Breaker come up to the main roster soon, like when he gets back from his injury.
You think he's ready for it?
Yeah, I think he is. But he's not ready on the mic. He's ready physically to do it. We'll see him go up. We'll see him destroy someone like Theory.
Theory, I know Theory was like a Vince McMahon pick, but I think he's got a big future.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that he will be taken out. I'm saying that we'll see him destroy Theory to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. And I'm saying that because I wholeheartedly believe that Cody's coming back for the Rumble. Cody's going to win the Rumble. Cody's going to beat Roman at Mania. It's going to be the big coronation. And then Braun Breaker's music is going to hit. He's going to come down and just beat the living fuck out of Cody Rhodes.
And then Cody's still in the chase again, which is...
Yeah, exactly. And they're gonna turn Braun a heel by doing that. And then
Cody's the most loved person in the wrestling at the moment.
Exactly. So Solo is gonna run NXT. Roman is gonna go away because he wants to do movies.
Here's an interesting thing. What do you think of I love your Braun Breaker idea. I think it's really, really good. What if he pretty much comes in as, instead of him bringing in the case sort of thing, he effectively becomes, what's his name? Muscle for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, it could work, but the Diesel Sean dynamic has been way overdone.
Well, no, I'm not thinking a dynamic like that. I'm thinking it more like imagine this sort of setup, because they've been teasing a Reigns Rollins feud for a while.
Yeah.
They go into that, Braun Breaker's there, and it eventually ends up with Braun Breaker turning to try and fight Reigns. And I think Rollins has the vocal chops to be able to keep Braun Breaker looking good and help him build up. Similar to like an AJ Styles Omos sort of combo, but that wasn't done well because I could see that really working as a building sort of thing for it, but not like. And I know what you mean by that classic. It's
the monster kind of thing,
the monster bodyguard sort of thing. It's either that or they could bring up Braun Breaker with Cody and make like a Legacy 2.0.
Yeah, maybe.
Cody leading it.
I don't think Triple H will want to rehash too much of Vince's stuff, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think he will.
My theory was bring him up like Goldberg back in the day and just have him shut the fuck up the whole way through and just destroy everyone. And when interviewers want to talk to him, he just grunts and walks away.
But then you're just doing what Eric Bischoff has done previously.
True. Or that, or have Paul turn on Roman. Or Paul realized that Cody has destroyed Roman. Roman is nothing anymore, so he's going to start talking for Braun.
Mm.
Then again, like, Braun's
it'll be
not
interesting to
terrible
watch.
on the mic. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting 6 months going forward. Like I said earlier, SummerSlam, there were already some big things that happened at SummerSlam that just proved that it was already different. Dakota Kai is back.
Yeah.
Io Shirai is back.
Like, it'll be interesting to see what other wrestlers that have left. Like, will Gargano come back?
Maybe. He appeared on Impact last week.
Apparently, he has not signed any contracts, though. He said that out loud.
Yeah. Right. He's enjoying himself going around the independents at the moment. I think he probably will go back to WWE, to be honest. Like, he's one of Triple H's boys. And the reason why he left is because he saw what was going to happen to him if he went to the main roster, and he was like, no, fuck that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
You know, I think Triple H has already set up a bunch of feuds. Like, at SummerSlam today, I didn't watch it, but apparently set up a feud between AJ Styles and Tommaso Ciampa.
I'm okay with that. That's going to be amazing.
Exactly. That's going to be like one of the feuds of the year.
Especially with a better creative working on it.
Exactly. It's gonna, the future is bright, and this is funny to say for WWE, because like WWE like the biggest thing ever to happen in wrestling, but like, and it's weird to talk about them like they're an independent company, but the future is bright for them going forward. They're gonna be fine under Triple H. They're gonna be better than they were before.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like, it'll be interesting to just wait and see what happens.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that should wrap up this week's episode. Mainly because I'm tired.
No, don't blame you, buddy. Don't blame you. No, it was a good episode. Like, yeah, as I said, I kind of took a back seat for this one and just interjected every now and again, because it's not something I really like. I love it. I love wrestling. I really do. It's one of the first things that we bonded over. But it's not something I have that full amount of knowledge about. I can just interject and add some other opinions and other ideas, whereas you have the more encyclopedic knowledge about it all.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like always, if you want to hit us up on email and talk to us about any of this stuff, or get my advice, or get Jay's advice on anything, before
Don't know what they get my advice on, but yeah.
Before IWC at gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/before IWC. Hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/before IWC. We have a bunch of a bunch of tiers on Patreon, ranging from just a help to $100. I can't remember what's in the $100 tier.
I'm pretty sure that gets our sex tape, doesn't it?
Probably. That, or you get a massive picture of my wife's dick. One or two.
Either way, it's a win.
Well, on YouTube, it's just search Before It Was Cool. Our logo has been updated to the main logo. So you can find us through there. Am I missing anything? Or Twitter?
YouTube? Twitter.
At Before IWC. Yeah, everything is Before IWC.
Yeah.
Except for YouTube.
To be honest, seriously, dude, you should just record that and just like have it as like an outro sort of thing.
Yeah. It would be
that way you've got it all covered. You just put it at the end, like you just say, "Oh, if you like to find us on these sort of things," and like, yeah, just seriously, we should record an outro and just have it on all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Incorporated
It'll work.
theme music even. Like have an outro music where it's like this was the before it was cool podcast. Find a song. Like I don't know. I'm not very good. An idea.
Yes.
And it just saves us trying to remember it every time. Because we forget things all the time.
All the time. What are we doing?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's been episode 29.2 on the future of professional wrestling.
Well, see you later, Tom.
Alrighty. See you later.
Bye.